In this video, we're gonna rock crawl, not mall crawl, and hope to not flip and roll it all as we run muddy, rocky trails and cover must-know off-roading techniques. So please subscribe and hit the bell notification because in this video series, we're gonna see if the Bronco is better than the Jeep.
How is that, Maria? Are you in trouble? You're not in trouble. I will prove to you you're not in trouble. You're not even close to trouble yet, right? You've never been in a Bronco like that. Okay, not moving is fine. You know this is a vehicle, right? Its job is to move. Okay. So most people who don't off-road a lot, around 20 degrees you get really uncomfortable. Even people who off-road quite a bit, around 25, things start to feel really interesting. I get a lot of questions about what is the number, what is safe. It depends. It depends on how many people are in the vehicle. It depends on what your tire pressure is. It depends on, did you put up 40s on? Do you have a 300-pound rooftop tent? Do you have a cooler full of ice? I can't answer that. I can tell you, if you flip over, it was 1 degree less than that. Don't turn yet.
So please don't miss out, subscribe and share this video so you don't miss any important off-roading techniques. This is either going to teach you or remind you of some important habits you may have forgotten so that you can be safe on the trails, because here at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, we want to keep you safe, save you thousands, and we will show you how the Bronco is definitely the best off-road machine and on-road machine, overall best SUV that you can buy.
This might not look like much, but this was quite a bit of an angle off these rocks right here. And the back wheel was rarely on the ground. It was usually about a foot in the air. We are off to Ford Bronco Off-Rodeo in New Hampshire. And this is perfect deer time. This is deer country, what we're in right now. Look at that fog. A deer will pop out in front of you, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, just before we saw a deer, but I see it a long time before I was okay to stop.
It crossed the road. So why did the deer cross the road? Well, to send my cell phone that I was editing videos on flying into the dash. We're about to go off-roading in the Ford Bronco. We're taking our Ford Bronco wild track that we just got. We're braking in the engine, folks, so important braking in your engine info. Here it is. This is how you do it. Keep the vehicle at not the same speed the whole time. You got to vary your speed, and you don't want to take it over 4,000 RPM. So keep it under 4,000 RPM. Vary your speed so that RPM needle is going up and down. You know, work the engine, but don't overwork it by going over 4,000 RPM. And ideally do this for, well, kind of boring, but 1,000 miles. So we're gonna get about 500 miles in today, going to New Hampshire and back. So stick with us. We're about to hit the trails.
All right, officially heading out on the trails at Bronco Off-Rodeo, New Hampshire. The training portion this morning was absolutely fantastic. Learned all about breakover angle, departure angle, approach angle. Got to learn about being up on a side. Remember, if you're already tilted up on the side, don't hit that stabilizer bar disconnect once you're already tilted up, because it's gonna jolt the vehicle. You don't know what direction you're gonna go. Now, before you actually start off-roading, important to always have good, easy contact with the steering wheel. So adjust your seat, put it as high as possible so you can see, so you diminish that blind spot in front of the vehicle. And then, of course, to help with vision, your side view mirrors. Huge help if you aim them towards the tires, because then when you're going around trees and rocks, you can actually see how closely you are. So adjust your mirrors so you can see the tires, because that way you can avoid thousands of dollars in damage. And I think it's actually pretty wise that if you're in a bit of a caravan on the trails, keep an eye on the vehicle behind you. Make sure you can still see them, so they see you, so you all take the same trail. So let's hit these trails. Thanks for joining us. Now, right before we hit the official trails, hit that like and subscribe button and bell notification so you don't miss anything out. Now when you're off-roading, also when you're adjusting your seat, make sure you can touch the floor. So take your foot and put it behind that brake pedal. Make sure you can hit the back wall, because sometimes you need to brake 100% all the way to the metal.
A lot of rain yesterday. Try not to go really fast through the puddles and splash all the water out. Try to go slowly through them, because if you splash all the water out, it also takes the sediment with it and makes the puddle worse. So please try to go slowly through the puddle.
Tread lightly, don't splash that water around, because yeah, you're gonna dig the hole deeper, and with time, well, some vehicles aren't gonna get through. You don't want trails to get canceled.
There's a chance of you like hitting your chest on the steering wheel, because some of them are really bad.
Yeah, if you go into a deep hole, you might also get shot forward. So you don't want to be too close to the steering wheel. You want to make sure you got proper ability to turn the steering wheel without doing any crossover, because when you do crossover, well, you kind of lose power to turn the steering wheel more. When you're off-roading at slow speeds, you're going to be turning the steering wheel a whole lot. So let's check out the trail. So just taking the main road, we could say, because the off-road is going to get a lot more hectic and hairy than this. It's just nice little climbing up to the trail we're going to be taking. The trail we're going to be taking is going to be a slow trail with some tight corners, trees all around, rocks all around. Nice little rock crawl. But the Bronco suspension is fantastic. This is what it's made to do, a whole lot more than this. Real muddy here. Bronco doesn't have any issues with traction, and I've got none of the diffs locked. Front diff isn't locked. Neither is the rear diff, so the wheels are, power gets sent to the wheel with the most traction. With the least traction, sorry, but still not slipping at all. When you don't lock your differential, the diff is lazy and sends traction to, well, where there's the least. So call it lazy. But when you put in when you lock that diff, well, then the two wheels spin at the same time to maximize traction, but you can't turn very well. So you gotta keep in mind that locking your diff's definitely not good for dry pavement. The vehicle will hop, you'll have definite tire wear, excessive tire wear. It's not great for the vehicle because it really does shake it up. But the explanations at Bronco Off-Rodeo are fantastic. Oh.
Return to driver.
Got it.
So I stopped looking at my rear view mirror. I'm responsible for keeping an eye on the person behind me to make sure that they can still see me.
Alright, as you pull up to the vehicle in front of you, you're going to notice our first obstacle of the day, which is a hill climb. The same concept applies going up the hill as down the hill. We want to make sure that our wheel speed matches our ground speed, so we don't want to hit the gas so hard that we lose traction spinning the wheels going up this hill. But we also want to maintain momentum, so keep moving up the hill. Just in case somebody fails to be successful climbing the hill, we're going to go up this hill one vehicle at a time. So the first vehicle is going to start. We're going to announce when we reach the top, which is going to allow the second car to go up. Just before that second car proceeds, they're going to announce that they're climbing the hill, and when they reach the top, they're going to announce so that the third vehicle can go. At the top, we're going to pull between a stack of rocks and a tree and wait for the vehicle behind us to come up before we leave that area. Vehicle 1's heading up the hill.
Now I'm not going to advance just out of proper etiquette. Because if I were to advance to the bottom of the hill, well, what happens if the vehicle ends up sliding back or rolling back down? Well, we don't want two vehicles damaged instead of one. So I'm going to wait here until they announce that they've made it to the top. Then I'm going to start climbing this hill. Shades on, make sure I don't get blinded by the light. And yeah, this is a decently steep hill. This is nice. So I don't want to go not too fast, not too slow either, because if you stop and you start on a hill, well, you're likely going to get tire spin, wreck the trail, and dig yourself in. And I don't want to get stuck. That would be horribly embarrassing. But just keep my speed consistent, about 5 miles per hour exactly. Just Bronco climbs right up the hill beautifully. And I'm going to get to the top and announce that I've made it.
Little spot between the tree and the rocks. The next part is really, really rutted and bony. You want to go really, really slowly through here. If you're going 3, you're probably going too fast.
Bronco 3, I made it up the hill. You can come up the hill. Oh, there you are.
Yep, we're up here.
Woo. All right, so getting pretty close to that tree. Nice little forest driving here.
So there's a saying in off-roading that applies to everything but that little hill climb right there, and it's as slow as possible, but as fast as necessary. This is one of those trails where mostly you want to be going as slow as possible through here.
All right, let's head through this water.
Alright, at the top of this little hill you're going to see me spotting. It's the first place that needs a spot out here on the trail today. As I said, we're going to try to go as slow as possible through this. Follow my directions for spotting, please. And Marie, you can start going forward.
Myself stuck.
And now you're stuck already.
Yes, sir.
Your first button's already on, right?
Yes.
Alright, let's try putting your left foot on the brake. Right foot on the gas. Give it a little gas. A little more. Let off the brake a little bit. Yeah. Oh, not quite enough. Alright, let's go ahead and hit button 3. Take your left foot off the brake, just driving normal now. Pull forward, you should be fine. Yeah, hold right there. I'm going to have you turn those 2 buttons off for now. I'll explain more later.
Can I put it in manual 1?
You can put it in M1 for this little hill descent if you want.
Whew.
Morning.
Morning, sir. Oh boy. Oh, okay, that's steep. I don't know if you see it on the camera, but I'm keeping myself from sliding to the steering wheel. Oh yeah. right on. This is fun.
So real nice hill descent here with a boulder at the end to crawl over. Very cool stuff. Lots of fun. Definitely worth coming to Bronco Off-Rodeo in New Hampshire. Very cool site. Now we all know that the Jeep off-road has an advantage. It's got a fixed straight axle in the front, not independent front suspension the way the Bronco does. And everyone always thinks about rock crawling when it comes to off-roading. And you know, we're going to continue to do some rock crawling and we're going to continue to go through more mud. So please follow along, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share this video. But off-roading is also about high-speed off-roading, and the independent front suspension definitely on the Bronco does that much better than the straight one solid axle on the Jeep. Now the Jeep is better at rock crawling, but we're going to show you in this video series that the Bronco will take care of all your rock crawling needs. You've got the sway bar that can disconnect electronically and hydraulically with the Badlands edition, but you can also soon get manual setups, manual sway bar disconnects on other models. So in this video series, we will show you how the Bronco is the best overall machine. And yes, it does that with independent front suspension, and that's a big part of why this vehicle is pretty much the best SUV you can buy, because it can do all this great off-roading fun, and it's also fantastic for not just rock crawling, where the Jeep does beat it out by a little bit, but the Bronco beats out the Jeep by a lot when it comes to daily driving. Yes, this thing is very, very comfortable to drive. So please join us for this video series. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and we will see you in the next video. We wish you all more cars and more power. Thank you so much for watching, folks. If you made it this far, just drop a comment, finisher. Take care, everybody.